Hey y'all, I'm gonna go over how I lay out a tile floor and hopefully give you some tips. These are the tools you're gonna need: a tape measure, snap cutter, or wet saw, the tile you're gonna be using, and the tile spacers or clips or leveling clips. And the red's gonna be 1/8 inch spacing, the white's gonna be 1/16 inch spacing, and they both use the small wedges. Now we're gonna go over the different types of tile. These are both porcelain tile. The ones that I'm using are going to be rectified. What rectified means is when you put them up to each other, you can tell they were cut after they were made. It's not a good idea to use the 1/16 spacers. I'll show you what that looks like. You'll see how tight that joint is. So on this project, we're going to be using 1/8 spacers. And the reason you want to do this is because these tiles are so level with each other, you don't have enough room for variance. And with the 1/8 spacers, you have a little bit of wiggle room to be off, where you can close a gap a little bit, open a gap a little bit, or even be just a little bit off on lippage. This cutter is going to be a 30-inch ruby. Score it backwards. Press tile, we're going to put the two factory sides facing each other. It's a little bit hard to see, but on the press tile, there's about a 1/32 to a 1/16 bigger grout line. So one of the most common practices in tile is to go right down the middle, all the way to the other wall. And then you want one row going to that wall and one row going to that wall. And then you get your plus sign. In theory, we have the plus sign glued down. We come to put tiles the next day. You can see the tiles are not even exactly the same size. It's a little bit shorter. So what happens is your grout line starts growing and there's no way to adjust anything. If I had a cross glue down and I started here, by the time I got to that corner, sometimes the grout lines can be up to a 1/2 inch. So this line is where I'm going to start the tile job with a full tile. And on this end, you see it ends with about a 20-inch piece. And on the second row, I'm going to be starting with a 7-inch piece. So this 7-inch piece would go right there. The pattern we're going to use is going to be 7 up, 7 back, 7 up. You can see with a 7-inch piece here, we're going to end up around 12 1/4. On this row, the tile waist is going to be about 3 inches at the end. And on this row, we can use the last tile to start the next 7-inch tiles. Okay, so we know these are going to be our 2 starter rows. Now we're going to go ahead and lay out tiles with all the spacers really tight on each other. And at the end, we do not end with a sliver. We end with about 4.5 inches. And on this end, we end with about 10.5 inches. So that 10.5 right here is going to keep this room looking really good. It's going to look like it's full tiles all the way across. The 4.5-inch pieces in the back are going to be hidden in the back of the laundry room, behind the toilet and vanity, behind the stove, and behind the refrigerator. This is going to be a tile job I did in 2020. This is going to be rectified tile with a 1/16 inch spacer. You can see how tight these gaps are. This job, you can see I used the 10.5-inch piece behind the toilet and the 4.5-inch pieces in the bedroom. So this time I did it the opposite. Here we'll have pieces a little bit closer to 10 1/4 due to the paneling. Big patch you see on this floor, all this gray, this is actually a thin set. This isn't a leveling compound, and there's a huge crater here, probably about 1.5 to 2 inches deep right in the middle right here. So what I did is I took the thin set and I made it a little bit more watery than normal and took a 1x4 and I just walked it back towards me. Bubbles right in the middle, and this floor is not even close to level, so this is actually pretty good. And this way is pretty good too. I'm around 107 1/4, 107 1/2. Back here, I'm at about 107 1/2, 64 1/2. All right, into the laundry room, 64 3/8. And that's how I got this first row. I just measured from wall to wall until I got this first row with all the spacers tight. All right, and on the main center row, we're at 88.5 from behind the stove. It could be the base plate, it could be the drywall, it could be just the way I lined it up, but it's only half an inch difference. And this row is gonna be starting with a full piece in the bedroom. Down here, you'll end up with about 17 3/8. By following the pattern, the 7-inch piece will give us an end piece around 10 1/4. So coming out into the living area, I'm gonna have to make some adjustments. Every tile that I started with the 7-inch piece first, I'm gonna have to cut about 1 3/4 off to start the next rows out here. So it's gonna be like 15.5 here, 22 right next to it. So now it's option time. You can either take the first main row that goes full tile all the way to this wall and cut 1.5 inches off the very first tile, and that'll get this row right up on the bottom of the cabinets. Option 2, leave it where it is and put a sliver in here. Option number 3, get very creative with trim. Maybe lay it down sideways. Option number 4, get it close within half an inch and just adjust your pattern so it's 1 inch further back. This is what it looks like with 1 inch pattern difference. 7 inches and right at 8. Honestly, you can't even tell really. So depending on what kind of person you are and how you want your tile job to go or where you're doing your tile job, if you're doing this at home, it might be good to go ahead and cut the 1.5 off the first row. You'll start with a pretty big tile, and then instead of starting with a 7-inch piece, you can just drop it down to a 6-inch piece. Now you see why it's important to get this layout done, so that way you know how it's gonna look before you even start. And in this video I was doing this whole layout with basic tools, but if you have anything that measures like this, shoot a laser down there. 8 foot 11 5/8. 8 foot 11 5/16. I also found out if you took an 8 foot level, left this bumper on, and took this bumper off, it would equal exactly 4 tiles with spacers. Pretty cool little tile cutter for quick notches. Alright, here we have the day before tile on these two. You see, whenever you add your new tile on, you want to make sure you put extra thin set around the whole tile, around this whole area. And you actually have to mash it down to get it to blend in perfectly. There's another example of it the day before. And then here's where I blended it back in with the extra thin set. All the other joints came out pretty clean. There's some pretty deep holes here I had to fill in with some thin set. So try not to waste your extra thin set. Now that we've made it all the way to the end, we essentially turn this into 4 small tile jobs. This area, this area, this area, a smaller area, and the restroom. So I guess we're looking at 5 little small tile jobs now. And right here we have the next 2 rows. They're just laid down, not glued yet. Let's get the marker out, mark about where you're gonna stop on the thin set. And by the cabinets, we decided to change the pattern a little bit where it's buttered up so we don't have that sliver right up against the cabinet bases. And it's gonna shift the pattern back here about 3/4 of an inch. We can go ahead and mix up another batch of thin set. Thanks for watching this one, and hopefully catch you on the next one.